Hello, to start with telling about myself, my name is Ethan Westney. I'm a senior here at the Grossman School of Business. Um, I had initially gone my 2 years, or my associates, at the Community College of Vermont while I was in high school. I was lucky enough to do the dual enrollment program as well as the early college program, and those overlapping, as well as doing a summer before I'd gone to UVM, had helped me to get my associates just a couple months after I'd gotten my high school diploma. And then after that, I had, through the 2+2 pathway, which is a great opportunity that is actually offered, I believe, by the state, but I could be incorrect. I would be instantly accepted into UVM and would be having the great pleasure of being here, which is something that was exciting, being technically a junior and then having it kind of be your first real on-campus where you're living there, you're talking directly almost every single day to your teachers as well as your peers is very, very exciting, and it is still exciting, and I feel very content with how that process went, and fully graduating now, I really have pretty minimal regrets. When moving on to the second question for this is, why do you want to work in this industry or company? For the industry that I'd like to personally work in, it is the financial planner or planning industry. Things like retirement planning, maybe even a little bit of insurance. I know you have to get insurance licensing for this after the Series 7 and the Series 66. And I really find a lot of contentment with a job and overall industry like this when compared to something perhaps like investment banking, because of the fact that I feel like I'm working on a more micro scale. I'm working with people that, kind of like my parents, for example, relatively average, earners, but they're trying to plan for their future, for children, for marriage, for whatever life event is happening. And I really feel that with using my personal financial insight, I can create value in that way, and I can feel very proud and have a lot of pride in what I do. And I personally feel, I know people might think differently, and that's kind of the whole point of why we all have apples, tomatoes, whatever you personally want to do. I just can't find as much contentment in something like investment banking, as well as the fact that I really value family, and I feel I would lose a lot of family time because of the lack of work-life balance that is offered in the investment banking industry. When moving on to the third question that I kind of gone about, tell me about a time you worked on a team and how you contributed to its success. I've done multiple teams personally. I feel like most people at this level have, and they have experienced multiple different types of teams, mostly because of, obviously the workload, but also inherently because of COVID, or kind of indirectly because of COVID. Working online, that's a lot more, without the in-person factor being there, you have to work a lot more and have to work a lot more based on communication. And I think that really helped me instill a strong base of properly communicating with teammates, what role I'd like to play in the group as based on my strengths and weaknesses. An example of this might, well, not being online, is for this semester with my intermediate financial class, or intermediate finance class. We had a group of 3 people. One, when we had communicated and he had told me about kind of how he wanted to approach the projects. These were 2 projects that we had to personally do, and it became very apparent to me that his strength was working with Excel. He was definitely at least above me in terms of ability for Excel. So I knew that having him work on that would be the best, and for me personally, I'm able to look at those numbers properly and really be able to verbalize it well, and I think that's where I was my personal strength. And I think when we had those 2 working together, those 2 components, it created an efficient process where we were able to succeed. And I think that's really important to me, being able to be self-aware of my strengths as well as my weaknesses, most importantly, honestly, as well as being able to be willing to basically be mold into whatever is needed of the group. I think that's a very important aspect, and I think that is what I can bring to any job and any project that I will be participating in. So thank you so much, and have a great rest of your day.